ladies and marriage for life. Marriage for life. Even though it may sound like an outdated concept, a dream from days gone by before scepticism towards anything non-scientific set in, the fact that people do still get married in this day and age is testimony to the fact that most of us are still romantics at heart. And honestly, despite scepticism, would anyone enter into a marriage that they didn't believe would last until death? We believe in it enough to toss everything we have into it. Let's not kid ourselves. And I'd like to think that those Australian men who headed to the Philippines and found their brides, it was especially so. Marriage and the Philippines. Now, why did we look at the Philippines in the first place? What made us first attracted to Filipino ladies? Yes, they're generally pretty. No arguments there, but there's more to it than that. What mattered to many and maybe most of us was the strong belief in marriage for life that exists in Filipino society. There is no easy divorce culture here. In fact, there is still no legal divorce in the Philippines. And that's not because the big bad Catholic Church thrust this on a submissive population. It's because marriage is seen as the stabilising factor in families, which are the building blocks of a stable society. Actually, you will find the non-Catholics here are just as much believers in marriage for life. So there. Now the Philippines, the family code of the Philippines says of marriage that it is the foundation of the family and an inviolable social institution, thus acknowledging its significance in Philippine society. Now, inviolable means never to be broken, infringed or dishonoured. Strong words. So what this means is that the Filipino lady you met and married didn't grow up surrounded by divorcees and lots of kids from broken marriages, possibly on second or third step-parents. Yes, marriages fall apart and couples separate, but not to the extent that it happens in Western countries. Marriage is seen as normal and not as something unusual. I can remember a little friend of Remy's when she was in Australia with us years ago, being almost in disbelief when I told her that Remy's mum, that's Mila, and I were married. Poor kid obviously grew up surrounded by instability. It was actually, "You're married?" She was shocked. Wasn't used to it. And a Filipino lady who believes in marriage and doesn't believe in tossing it all in when the magic has gone out of it means you should have a stable life ahead of you as long as you are both committed to working at it. Now, marriage for life and commitment. So does marriage depend on meeting the perfect partner? Yes, that's a bit of a trick question, and it is fully intended. Yes, of course, you should have your priorities set right when you are choosing your life partner. Marrying because you want something from the other person, this is not really very wise. So a man marrying because he's lonely, he needs to be taken care of due to age, disabilities, or used to being spoilt, like me. He's dazzled by a pretty face, a young pretty face, and he just can't believe his luck. Or a woman marrying because, well, he's handsome, and he's, compared to the average Filipino, rich. These are not stable marriage building blocks, are they? Now, intelligence should tell you that a successful marriage is going to be easier to attain if you actually love each other, and if you choose someone where the two of you have invested time and effort into getting to know each other as you truly are, then you should have something left when the glamour of wealth and beauty have faded. Now back to the question about the perfect partner. Does such a person exist? No. No, they do not. A true self-reflection and certainly self-criticism are out of favour these days. We're all about building fragile self-esteem and self-concepts and expect to give ourselves a clap for participating. Facing up to ourselves as flawed human beings, it isn't trendy at all. more's the pity, because it would result in some better marriages. Now, am I the perfect husband? Apart from my obviously stunning good looks, well, no, I most definitely am not. I'm demanding, I'm stubborn, and I believe I talk too much. Is my wife the perfect wife? No, afraid she isn't. And she's okay with me saying that because she knows it all too well. The fact is, I'm relieved she has faults, because who the hell am I to expect perfection? Honestly, I don't think anybody else could stand either of us. And look, it's the constant knowledge of our own imperfections that keeps us both grounded and grateful for someone who loves us despite our flaws. Now, and you will find that most Filipinos approach marriage the same. Jeff and Mila are not wise philosophers. You probably find your grandparents and their parents had a similar outlook on life, and Filipino thinking is sometimes not too far removed from what Aussies in the past, when marriages, sometimes not too far removed from what Aussies in the past thought when our marriages were seen to our own society as being marriage for life. Thank you.